best morning show on the globe. It's Bradley and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradman in the morning. Marques, Justin, Emery.
I hate my computer. I really, truly, deeply hate this machine.
Yeah, we're on CPT time right now. To the point where we're just going to get right into it because we're already behind. On the line with us right now, as she is every Friday, National Lacrosse League, Eagles post-game show, ABC.com, Jacob Media, sideline reporter, ESPN, NBC Philly.
Yep.
Devan Kaney joins us. Devan.
Hello. Look at that lovely photo you guys have. I don't know what's going on with your computer, Justin, but I'm so sorry. I've been witnessing all this from backstage. A little confused, but I'm glad that we got here.
I looked at myself in the mirror like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, man, I'm starting to have some gray hair in my beard, and it's all contributed to this computer.
You got some gray in your beard. It's been a shaky year.
I know. I don't know.
I get that. Tech issues are very frustrating, so I'm sorry.
Especially because we had our entire pre-show meeting, and 30 seconds beforehand, I decided it didn't want to work.
The entire pre-show meeting was you fixing your computer.
Yeah, I was very, very frustrated right now.
I wish we were here under happier circumstances, Devin, but I got to be honest. We're here for an intervention for you, Devin.
Oh, for me?
Yes, Justin and I are concerned.
What? Why?
First of all, we need you to sit down on the couch. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna put on my intervention sweater, my intervention khakis. I got my notepad out. So we are concerned that you are joining the Hurts cult.
What? What do you mean? What's the Hurts cult?
The Hurts cult are a bunch of people that are waving the pom-poms for Mr. Hurts.
Okay.
It concerns us a little bit. Now,
all right. Yeah, no, finish.
I want to hear from you. Now, I'm gonna quote you. This is you talking about Jalen on the postgame show. I think losing Jalen Hurts in the offseason and getting a new quarterback would be like starting from square one. I think we've made so much progress this season and can only get better in the offseason if we build around Jalen Hurts. Now, see, that's the line right there that concerns me, to build around Jalen Hurts. See, I'm okay with bringing him back next year. I'm okay with that. But basically by default, because we all know, as we sit here as intelligent people in this room, there's not a lot of great options, especially in the draft. And when it comes to the picks, there's so many holes there. Are you going to mortgage it and get a quarterback like a Wilson, or Rodgers a pipe dream, I feel, but more probably Russell Wilson is the name that makes the most sense. So I get that. My pushback is the notion that Jalen Hurts could be the guy for the next 15 years. That's what concerns me. And that's what, for me, has been the giant disconnect. I've been on my soapbox all week, especially Wednesday. I had a double soapbox Wednesday. And
I thought you were going to blow a blood vessel.
Yeah. In my forehead, there was a vein that I've never seen before. And it's just, for me, it's after watching, it's not about people who say bring him back next year. Because Sunday for me, and we talked about this Friday, and Devin, you've been with us for the past 4 months. I think you could testify to this, that we've been pretty fair when it comes to Jalen Hurts. We haven't overly killed him. We haven't been overboard about how great he is, but we've wanted to give him a shot. We've been pretty consistent with that. But Sunday was alarming. And I actually just watched a clip as we were sitting here that I hadn't seen yet, where Tampa Bay they sack him, and they're on the sideline, they're talking about him, and they're literally yelling, "He can't read. He can't read." This is stuff with him that I just don't feel ultimately is fixable enough to the point where he ever will be a franchise guy.
Okay. Is the floor mine now? I don't know if we're
Yes. The floor is yours.
I'm like, is it still going? Okay, so
first of all, you sound a little defensive. It's just like you sound very defensive. We're just trying to help you, Devan, because we love you. Okay.
Well, look, so I'm not gonna defend Jalen Hurts to the death here. He was terrible against the Bucks. I agree. He certainly has many things he needs to work on. That quote was that a lot of people agreed with, a lot of people disagreed with. I didn't mean that he was the franchise guy. I don't think that Jalen Hurts, is even a Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's the guy for years and years. And I don't know if I like my language in that quote where I say, I think they should build around him. By that, I didn't mean build around him as in a franchise quarterback. I think he is the best option for the immediate future, and that's next season and perhaps the season after that. And we see where he goes. We see how he improves. And if he improves, and which, by the way, I think he will, because the most impressive thing, in my opinion, about Jalen Hurts is his mentality and how he's so driven to get better. I mean, we saw him get better just throughout this season. I also want to say against the Bucks, he was terrible, but everyone else was terrible as well, as was the game plan. I think what really helped Jalen Hurts' game was when Nick Sirianni finally started creating game plans that kind of catered to his skills and play style.
Agreed.
And then for some reason in that Bucks game, they went back to, early season when we ran the ball. And not that they didn't run the ball, but I just don't think that we helped him out at all. We put the weight of that entire game on Jalen Hurts' shoulders, and I don't think that's very fair. But like you said, we're not, with that quote, starting from square one, I'm not down to draft, a Kenny Pickett, and then we have to start all over again. And then it's another quarterback controversy. Yeah. This team is so fresh and so new still. And that's what I think people forgot throughout this season, because it's Philadelphia and we tend to do that and we get overexcited. I had no expectations for this game or Jalen Hurts or Nick Sirianni this season. They're essentially a rookie team with rookie head coaching staff. So the fact that they even made it into the postseason is wildly impressive, and I think shows a lot of promise. And you can tell that the team just gelled throughout the season. I mean, Nick Sirianni has the locker room. I think Jalen Hurts has the locker room. So by that quote, what I meant was, plucking Jalen Hurts out and throwing in a new rookie, or I get Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, they're a different story. I don't think that either are going to happen, though. And I don't know how I feel about Russell Wilson. I almost called him Russell Westbrook again. I always do that. So I just think that plucking Jalen Hurts out and putting in another quarterback would just be absolutely detrimental to the team, to the locker room, to everything that they worked for this season.
Well, first of all, this is why I love communication, because I feel like we've had some growth here. I feel like we've both said some things, and I feel like we've met each other halfway. Everything you said, for the most part, I agree with. Yes,
for the most part, what don't you agree with?
I'm not as high as his ceiling to grow as you are, because of the fact that I just feel there are things fundamentally that he can't fix. I don't know, how much can he really improve his arm strength as a adult man? I don't really know. The throws that he's incapable of making, I don't think all of a sudden he can come back next year and be able to make those throws.
I think he can.
Okay.
I actually asked Derek Gunn about this on the postgame show, and he thinks Nick Sirianni will absolutely, and the team will absolutely bring in someone to help Jalen Hurts focus on that in the offseason. I mean, we see how throughout the season, I feel like whenever he had there are very few games that he himself was the main cause. The Giants game comes to mind. The first Cowboys game, he was pretty bad. But he always bounced back after that. So to end a season on that note, I feel like he's that guy's mindset. Like he's just going to be determined, as is the team, to work on his issues. And like, I don't know if I want to say it's totally arm strength. Like, yeah, reading and accuracy. I mean that one interception in the Bucks was really bad. Right. And I get that. I do get that. But he also has like one receiver. He has Devontae Smith. Mm-hmm. He has Dallas Goedert as a tight end.
Yeah.
So by build around him, I mean bring in talent that can help him. I think, like I said, time and time again, draft young defensive talent. I think we should bring in a established, seasoned wide receiver. Maybe draft a wide receiver. Like he just needs more receiving help too.
I agree. I agree that he doesn't have all of the tools. That's not like, I would not question that. I think you definitely need to upgrade the second wide receiver slot. I mean, I'm cool with Quez Watkins being 3. And then you have Goddard. You maybe bring in maybe another tight end. I don't know. It depends on what the offensive plan is going to be next year. I'm with you with all that. And listen. At the end of the day, because I like Jalen Hurts. I do. I see everything you guys see about his intangibles and his leadership and all that stuff is great. It's great. My pushback and where I get upset is where people defend him to the ends of the earth and make people like me feel like a bad person for saying, guys, hold on a second. This guy does not have franchise stuff right now. Right. That's really my major pushback.
Well, like I do think people who want to defend him, and it's, I'm not going to lie, it's a big reason I want to defend him too. And sometimes I do have to check myself and be like, look at the stats, look at the facts and what you saw on the field. Yeah. He's such an easy guy to root for. You want to root for him. He seems like an incredible person off the field as well, and a great leader. And as I said, I think he wholly has this Eagles locker room. So you want him to succeed. Yeah, and I think that's where those defenders come in.
I said this on Wednesday but when I talk about my quarterback, I don't want to talk about how good a person he is. Like, I want to talk about my quarterback like when everyone's talking about their Joe Burrows, their Justin Herberts, and their Trevor Lawrences. I want to be like, yeah, well, you know what? My quarterback writes awesome letters. I want to be able to say, yo, my quarterback can throw a football through a brick wall. I want to be able to puff my chest out, talk about my franchise quarterback. Right now,
you can say your quarterback can rush more than any other quarterback in the league.
Yes, I mean, and that's great too. But at the end of the day, it is quarterbacking. So I need you to be able to throw better than you can run.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're counting mobile quarterbacks, he's not even in the top 3, I don't think. I would still take Lamar over him. I would still take Kyler Murray over him. So even
you would take Kyler Murray over him?
Yes.
I don't think I would.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not taking Kyler Murray really, period, because I said on Wednesday that he's too small for me and that I think he's
so small. Yeah.
But right now, I would take Kyler over Jalen Hurts. Ask me at the end of next year, I might have a different answer. But going into next year, right now, I would definitely take Kyler over Jalen Hurts. But he's so small that it scares me.
Yeah. I mean, you're seeing the durability issues with him because of his size. Like the way he plays. Like he's so like his fast twitch muscles are out of control. Like when he runs, it looks like everything is gonna start coming off his body. Everything moving so fast is concerning.
And when you add in the extra game, I mean, he's already been hurt every single season. Now he's got an extra game to play on top of that. And he has to see Aaron Donald twice a year.
Correct. Ooh. Yeah. All right. So I feel like we accomplished a lot there. So we're gonna move on.
We did. This was good. I'm glad that we had this talk.
I'm glad we had this conversation. It's good to have. It's good. Like I said, communication is a great thing.
It is.
So let's move on to Joel Embiid and his 50-piece nugget on Wednesday in 27 minutes, mind you. Now, as the more and more we get into the season with the Sixers, and the more and more we see Embiid once again playing like MVP, like I said to Justin the other day, it's wild to me to think that as good as he was last year, this is right now the best stretch of basketball we've ever seen him play. Like he is in my right now with Kevin Durant being hurt, He right now to me is the best player on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing like that right now in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't even know. I guess you can go back to AI's 2001 year. It's a very rare thing for the Sixers to have the best player on the planet right now. Daryl Morey did an interview yesterday talking about Ben Simmons and talking about trading him and his philosophy. Not much has really changed. He's saying now maybe a top 40 player instead of a top 25 player, but really nothing really changed. And, Embiid, it looks like, is kind of green lighting this as his approach, and he's on board with Morey, how Morey's handling the situation. Morey believes, now I don't know if I believe him, but I'm going to ask you, Devan. Morey believes that the Sixers right now have enough to really compete for a championship. Do you believe that?
I believe that the better Joel Embiid gets, which it's hard to believe that he is somehow better even than he has been in past seasons. Mm-hmm. He is at his prime, and it kills me that they are not giving this man the help he needs, because I truly think if they surround not even a whole new roster, but one guy, two guys who can help Joel out.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting that right now. I think I would have much more confidence in the Sixers being a championship team if they brought in a couple more reinforcements, because, Joel's incredible, but I don't want to put this out into the universe even, but one injury, he's down, and the Sixers, I don't think, look very good. So I know Daryl Morey is he's doing his little workings behind the scenes, and it just kills me that Ben Simmons is still on this freaking roster, and that we're wasting Joel Embiid's prime. It gives me anxiety. So it's almost like the better he does when he puts up these 50-point games, and he's been on such a roll lately. It's like one of those things where you're excited and happy, but then also damn. Ooh, sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Dang.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you should have heard what I said on Monday, so it's all right.
Okay. Dang, they're wasting his prime. And I think if the Sixers win a championship, they got to go do it now. And they got to bring in a little bit. I think that we have some of the pieces, like Tyrese Maxey. I love what I see from him, but there are other guys. I would not be sad to see Tobias Harris go whatsoever. You guys know that. We've discussed this before.
Yeah.
I put the shirt away, so you don't have to worry about me pulling that out.
Yeah, it's such a double-edged sword for me, because while I agree with everything you just said, we want to get Embiid the help right now while he's sizzling. I understand what Daryl Morey's doing, because, and we've talked about this before in the show, where it's so hard to trade an all-star and get back proper value. You go through the history of all-star trades. Most often than not, you don't get back proper value. I'm old enough to remember the Charles Barkley trade, and we got back, a 6-piece nugget and 3 fries for him. Mm-hmm. We didn't get back proper value at all. We got 3 okay basketball players for a guy who gave Phoenix an MVP season. Allen Iverson's trade, we didn't really get back anything of value. And you go, the list goes on and on of guys that's been here and not just here, nationally. When you trade all-stars, you generally don't get back the value. So I understand what Daryl Morey's trying to do, but I just feel like it's to the point now, and I feel like this will go into the summer, but
you
it's
think
really hard.
Wait, what will go into the summer?
The Ben Simmons situation. I don't believe it's February 10th. I don't. I think what might end up happening, you'll see him involved in maybe a sign and trade with James Harden over the summer. I think James Harden will be here, and I think the Nets want to get something. So maybe get a sign and trade over the summer or something. I don't know. But I don't think this ends February 10th, because I think Morey's patient. I think, again, Embiid's okay with Daryl Morey being patient, especially for the fact that they're winning. But so I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place with this. I understand what you're saying, but I also understand what Daryl Morey's approach also.
Yeah, I do understand his approach. And I just can't believe it's been so long. I can't believe it's January and Ben Simmons is still a Sixer. So to imagine it going into the summer, which, You're right. That could happen. I do like Daryl Morey. I think he's a very good GM, and I get he's not going to trade an all-star for nothing. But at the same time, it is very frustrating to watch Joel Embiid heat up and kind of wonder what could be if he had a little bit more help on the court.
Let me ask you this, because we had this conversation, I think, last week. Let me ask you this. So, the mental health stuff with Ben Simmons, that was kind of the reason why he's saying he's going to play right now. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you've heard that he got engaged over Christmas break.
Oh, I heard. Yeah.
Okay. So they say you're not supposed to make major decisions when you're dealing with anything mental health, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you're like, so like, let's say there is something going on with him mental health wise. Mm-hmm. If you're dating a guy and you think he's having some sort of issues, maybe it's, whatever, work, whatever's going on, he's having some sort of issues. Would something like that give you cause for pause?
Well, a couple things. So first of all, I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but I'm I make Philly sports TikToks, casual plug here. Okay. And I made one when I saw that news about Ben Simmons. And every time I make a TikTok about Ben Simmons, do you guys know Richard Jefferson on what does he do? Yeah. He comments on he doesn't follow me, but he'll comment just like the laughing emoji. So
look at you, Richard Jefferson.
I think Ben Simmons, he clearly thinks he's a joke. So just had to squeeze that in there.
I mean, naturally, everyone does. Yeah.
Yeah. No. And it's it is a joke. He's laughing at our pain, I suppose. Yes. But I mean, it would give me pause. But is he actually, like? I'm sure this has taken a toll on his mental health. I'm not denying that, but like, I think Ben Simmons is doing just fine. This probably
yeah.
Fine.
We talked about this. We all had a conversation about this, a couple months ago, and I thought that there could be something to that. After seeing that and him going out with the coffee, smiling, happy, I'm definitely questioning the legitimacy of this.
Yeah. I'm sure that maybe they're in love and whatnot, and she probably didn't even think about that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess it's a situational thing. If I cannot imagine being in a relationship like that. Must be hard, because what is his mindset like? Like, it's been so long. It's been months and months. And I believe they started dating like even after the whole Hawks Game 7 incident. So like, what do they do? Like, I'm sure he works out, but like, is he just sitting there like scoffing at the TV every time the Sixers play? Like, I don't know. So I can't imagine being in a relationship with him fun right now.
He was so upset watching Embiid drop the 50 in 27 minutes. He was upset. Mm-hmm.
I would love to know like what the conversation is when the two of them are just sitting around watching TV.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, are you going to practice tomorrow?" I would love to know like what kind of answer he gives.
Yeah, and like I can't help but wonder about that, because like he's still in Philly, or like technically has to be here, right? So like, are they just like hanging out, and she's just like, so like, what are you thinking about the NBA? How about the NBA? Like, are you gonna play? Are you gonna go back? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what are these conversations like over months and months? I feel like if I was engaged to someone, I'd be like, so maybe you should like try to play basketball again.
Maybe
I don't know.
Go to work.
Yeah, like maybe, it's like a guy who was laid off and his wife is kind of like sick of him being stuck at home. Like, hey, babe, maybe you want to get a job, look in the paper for some openings, or.
What was Maya Jama's reaction to Ben in the sweatpants going through the drills? Like, what did that look like on the couch?
Right. Like, I cannot imagine that would be very attractive. Also, doesn't he not have that much money because he's been fined so much?
Yeah, well, you got the fines, and he has like 3 homes. He just bought a home out in
the
LA Hidden Hills, I think it's the area it's called.
Yeah,
for like 17 mil. Then he still has his house in Jersey that he put on the market. I'm not sure if it's still on the market or not. And then he has an apartment.
I believe it is still on the market, but that's the one he's currently living at in Morristown.
Okay, and then he has an apartment somewhere, I think, down in like Center
Carlton
at the Ritz. Yeah.
So like. Yeah, I mean, with the fines and all that, he's definitely bleeding money. He's gonna need to do.
Here's the thing: is he getting fined? That's my question, because a report came out a couple weeks ago that he just crossed the $10 million mark in fines.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that if he was still getting fined, Rich Paul would be out here coming out with all sorts of outrageous quotes, and he's not.
Right.
So if he's not out here blasting the Sixers for trying to force Simmons to play, my assumption is that he's not getting fined, because more than anything else, what do they want?
Well, there was a report too that he was like showing up to meetings and practices, and he worked out after a game, and like then it was like, well, the Sixers still have hope that he's going to rejoin the team. It's just an absolute mess.
Yeah, no, I saw a report that said that he wasn't being fined anymore, but he was still fined like enough that he was like trying to sell his houses, like you mentioned. I don't know what's true and what's not anymore, but I think it was like end of November. He like warmed up before a game, because I remember I went to that game and I was like, oh my gosh, is this the Ben Simmons game? Is he going to make his return? And he didn't, obviously.
He was out there with people out there?
He was, yeah, apparently, because I remember there were videos on Twitter. But he wasn't with the team. He was like by himself, just like shooting around.
Yeah, he's always by himself.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, you couldn't, like, literally, you can't make this stuff up. That's bizarre. I didn't know that. I thought he was just doing stuff when no one was around. The fact that he went out there with people out there is just mind-boggling to me. But
you know what? Like that, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, and this happened like yesterday, like I'll just be going about my day, and all of a sudden it pops in my head, and I'm like, this is probably one of the most wild sports.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call it. Like conundrum, sports drama,
saga,
yeah, to ever happen. Like it's actually wild if you think about it. Like an athlete just straight up refusing to play.
Right.
It's
Justin
so
and I talked about the 30 for 30 on the process era. There could be a 30 for 30 just on the Ben Simmons situation.
Oh my God, absolutely. And I wonder, I'm sure maybe one day he'll like come out and tell his side of like what's going on. And I don't know. It is just absolutely crazy though.
Have we had a Maya Jama appearance at the Wells Fargo Center yet?
Have we had a what?
Have we had a Maya Jama sighting at the Wells Fargo yet?
No.
That's a good question. I don't think so. I feel like his girlfriends only go when he plays.
Yeah. No, she hasn't, because she hasn't been around while he's been playing, Willie.
Yeah.
Really. She was in Australia. She worked for MTV, right?
She works for somewhere in London. In London.
London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Devan, you ready to play a game?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It is hate it or love it time, people.
Let me get music going.
All right, so let me remind everyone of the rules. This is hate it or love it. It's very simple. Justin will toss around some topics. It could be sports. It could be pop culture. We have no idea what topics are going to be. And Dev and I are going to decide if we hate it or if we love it.
All right, first up, something that we've all been clamoring for baseball for a while, because we all know the umpires are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
This year, if there's a baseball season, AAA will be unveiling robot umpires. Yeah, robot umpires in AAA baseball this year if there's a season.
No way.
Guess what?
Hate it. Hate it.
You hate it?
Hate it.
You hate it. Okay, go ahead. Show your work.
Yeah. I mean, for like, no. Anything that involves robots, like, no. First of all, how's that even possible? I feel like you just like need a person to call it. But I guess it would take away the whole like people getting mad at refs. But no. This is how the whatever. This is how those apocalyptic movies start. First, it's the umpires, and it's the world.
Oh yeah, this is.
You're right, but I absolutely love it. I'm so tired of Cowboy Joe West. I never want to see that man again.
Well, he's retiring anyway. He retired at the end of the year anyway. But
good. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see any of these. Like, why do I know their names? Yeah, I know their names because they've affected so many games over the years. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, it's not good that you know an official's name. It's kind of like the offensive lineman. You don't want to know the offensive lineman name.
No. Wait a minute.
I'm amazed by people who know officials' names. Like, especially in the NFL, like so-and-so would be like, oh, yeah, that's blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know?
Ed Hockley?
Like, yeah, and people have like favorite refs. I'm like, I don't know.
I remember Ed Hockley because he's jacked.
Yeah, his son's jacked too. His son's a ref now.
Like Ed Hockley.
I do know the jacked one. I didn't know that was his name, but I do know.
His arms are out of control.
Yeah.
Next up, Pennsylvania man recently won $1 million in scratch-offs. However, over the last 23 years, he's won almost $5 million playing scratch-offs.
What?
Yes.
What?
This is
I don't know how I feel about that.
This is the fourth time he has been to the Pennsylvania Lottery headquarters to collect at least a six-figure winning.
I mean, I don't want to be a hater, but I hate it. Like no one should be allowed to be that lucky.
Yeah, but that's why I love it. I love to hate it. I don't know. How is one that lucky, and is he cheating? I'm skeptical. How is that possible? I feel like
the
that's
quote
not
that he said was, the only way that you can win this much is to be playing the lottery way more often than any person should do.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess, too, because, like, once you win, like, some people might just be like, all right, I'm done. But, like, if he's taking that mill and then reinvesting, I don't know, 50 grand back into the lottery, I guess, of course, he's going to win. Right? Just the odds.
That's a lot of scratch cards.
It's a lot of scratching. He's carpal tunnel, definitely.
No doubt about it. Today, Netflix drops the first half of Ozark season 4.
Yes, sir.
What?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that.
Yes, the first. So the fourth season will be 2 7-episode parts, with the first one dropping this morning.
I like that, and I love it, and I'm excited but nervous for the trajectory of Ruth, because Ruth is my favorite character. We must protect her at all costs. I'm a little nervous that she's gonna eat and have a terrible demise at some point. I don't know if I'll be able to handle that.
Yeah, love it. I now need to, because like it's been so long since the last season. I need to remind myself what happened.
664 days to be exact.
Wow,
It's been that long?
I only know that because they put out a tweet about it. I didn't look that up.
Wow, I didn't realize it'd been that long. That's like almost 2 years. Wow, I didn't know that.
Next up, Amazon. They're opening a retail store. Yeah.
What?
Not just online. Yes, you can go into an Amazon store and buy things over the counter.
okay, hate it, because I feel like that's the equivalent of like, first Netflix was the only streaming service, and now everyone has a streaming service, to the point where it's almost as expensive as just having cable, where you bundle all streaming services together. And I feel like Amazon, it's like, oh, this is what's good about Amazon. We deliver to you quickly. But let's just have this new wild concept where you actually physically go to a store to pick up things. It's like a full circle situation. And also, is an Amazon store not just a Costco?
Oh, yeah.
I stand with Devin. I'm not going to follow that. I hate it.
I hate it.
I'm not saying anything else. Yeah. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
It's stand-up comedian Jim Gaffigan put out a tweet last week.
Who?
He said, Jim Gaffigan, he's a comedian.
Okay.
He put out a tweet the other day. It says, someone should bundle all the streaming services together and call it cable.
Yes, exactly. It's at the point where it's like there are too many streaming services, so let's consolidate them and call it this wild thing called cable.
Well, to your point, I'm getting frustrated. So I stumbled across a show on Netflix called Grand Army that I really got into. And it's a really good show, but they cancel it after one season. And this is happening a lot because there's just too much content. Like, so even if you have a good show, you could theoretically not know about it or it not get enough support because people are watching all of this other stuff. We got too much. We got too many things to watch. People are like, "Yo, have you heard of this?" I'm like, "No, I don't even know." No, I got my little bubble of TV shows I watch. I try to venture outside my bubble, but it's too much outside of the bubble.
Yeah. And it's funny when like the streaming services, like they treat it like Amazon's doing. It's like this crazy wild concept when it's been around forever, where they're like, we're going to release a show 1 week at a time, one episode a week. Like, wow. Okay. So just normal TV. We're just going back to normal TV here, people.
Right. Because the whole like how people love streaming service so much is because of the binge factor.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even binge anymore.
Yeah. It's like that's the same thing Amazon's doing. Like, wild idea. We're going to create a place you can physically go to. Like, okay, so a store.
That's it. That's it. We're creating our own streaming platform. We're gonna be the best streaming platform there is.
I'm in.
So one of America's favorite couples on TV could actually soon become a couple. Now, you guys are going to have to help me how to pronounce the actress's name. She plays Olivia Benson. Mariska, I think her name is.
Mariska Hargitay?
Yes.
Oh,
that's you.
She did a interview this week and let out a couple of secrets that potentially Olivia and Elliot may be getting together on this season.
Really? Well, first of all, they're bringing him. He's back on again?
He's back on.
Why did he leave in the first place?
It was a contract negotiation with the actor.
Okay. I mean, I'm here for it. I love it.
I'm not gonna lie, I have never watched SVU, but I do know those two, and I always thought that they seemed like a good couple. So
yeah, they have good chemistry. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The Autobahn, obviously, you can drive as fast as you want on that Autobahn.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, there was a Czech prince who was driving his Bugatti on the Autobahn at 257 miles an hour. And apparently that's too fast for the German authorities, who now are potentially putting a speed limit on the Autobahn.
Love it. That's not safe. Why would you even want to do that? I've never understood that at all. I don't get it. Never understood why anyone would ever at any point want to drive that fast.
Ricky Bobby, right?
I guess I have to go hate it, because that seems just super dangerous, and I have no desire to be on a road or in a car that's going that fast.
No, nothing's fun about that.
No, it doesn't sound fun at all.
There's no,
not at all.
I'm terrified and crying the entire time. I don't understand people that want to go that fast in an uncontrolled environment. No, hard out.
Are you guys ever driving on a highway and no one, it's very not crowded, and you just kind of find I'm not a big cruise control person, and I zone out and I find myself going 90 miles per hour. And even when I do that, I'm like, whoa, oh my God, this is too fast. I'm going to die.
I drive down to AC every weekend at the crack of dawn on the weekends. So there's never anybody out. And I'm a big cruise control advocate. So.
Yeah, I've definitely toned it down over the past couple of years. I don't know if it's now kids and stuff, but I don't drive nearly as fast as I used to. I've kind of really just chilled out in my old age. I've mellowed. So.
And then the last one, I know you guys are both on board with it, but we have seen the promo for the Super Bowl.
Love it.
Show.
That's it. Love it.
Love it. I'm super excited. Marcus made me aware of that promo, and I'm pumped. Love it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Can't wait. Devan Kaney, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us again, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
And Devan, I got one episode left in season 4.
Yes, I love it. Please report back.
Oh, next week I'm going to try to be about halfway through season 5 next week when we talk.
Big throne talk.
We'll have some things to discuss.
All right, bye guys.
See ya.
Well then, that was a lot to go on there.
So here we're gonna take a break. Okay, on the other side, I promise I'm not gonna do this every week. I promise I'm not gonna do this all the time. But I gotta read you something on Jalen Hurts that you might not have seen.
And I want to dive more into that quote from the Buccaneers coaching staff as well.
Okay.
Because that is, I don't think people really understand how damning that quote really is.
Yes, right. And we'll also get into the divisional matchups taking place this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and Emery in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin, Emery. We'll be right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco is just around the corner in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering delicious fish tacos, a California burrito stuffed with guac, steak, fries, and chipotle mayo, plus sweet, crispy churros. District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location and come back for more. Get 10% off your first in-app order with promo code BREMI10. Always fresh, always Mexican. District Taco.
Relationships can be tough, and finding that special someone can be even tougher. So when it's time to make a decision on what to do with the ring, you don't want to have that be tough too, right? Hi, I'm Marques Brown. I'd like to talk to you guys, my friends at Vans Jewelers, located at 13 South York Road in the heart of Hatboro. Back in 2017, when I decided to get engaged, there was only one choice for me. Going into Vans Jewelers, I was quite nervous, but they put me at ease right away with their friendly staff and their easy selection. They have selections for any budget. Rings, watches, chains, earrings, you name it, they got it. They also offer free ultrasonic cleaning and stone checks on any ring. Vans Jewelers also provides cleanings while you wait every Tuesday through Friday. What else do you want? You can't beat it. Go see my friends at Vans Jewelers, located again at the heart of Hatboro, 13 South York Road.
Justin here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet. A family-owned business, Sharon and Michael have the best jerky around. They have a huge selection to choose from, but always make sure to try my personal favorite, the Honey Barbecue Turkey Jerky. Don't think they only have jerky for sale. They also have the best supply of sauces, marinades, and rubs for all of your new recipes. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway, right by Oxford Valley Mall. Head on over there, go in and say, yo, Justin sent me.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between. See, it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Bradman in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin Emery.
With what the weather is outside today, make sure you definitely winterize your pipes.
Yeah, legit. Can't.
Too cold out there for me.
I told you, Amber and I, we're going to the Sixers game tonight, and it's going to be an adventure venturing off the mountain.
Yeah, good luck. It's going to be a frozen tundra out there.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous, but we'll get through it.
Well, what's today? Today is what's today's date? The 21st of January.
Yes.
Got a couple of facts for you today.
Okay.
Fire off the graphic properly right there. Okay. So we got first up on the list. The website wants to load today. Okay, here we go. 2020. The first U.S. COVID case. 2 years ago today.
Still 2 months from a shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
We've been dealing with this for 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Gross.
Yep. I mean, it's COVID-19. We're in 2020.
Since you brought that up, let me ask you this question. This has been something I've had in my notes.
Okay.
Ask, but it had never been the right time. But now it's the right time since you brought that up.
Okay.
When will we ever have an athlete play with COVID in our lifetime?
I'm sure it has already happened.
I mean, like public record. Like we know he has COVID or she has COVID. Not like a behind the scenes where he's not going to say anything. In our lifetime, will we ever see an athlete? Because it's gonna get to you feel like it's gonna get to a point like 5, 10, 15 years where this becomes just part of our lives. You would think? This is not going to. We're not going to be in this cycle forever. We can't be.
I mean, I would, on face value, at first glance, I would venture to say no, but I'm not naive enough to think that that's going to be possible. So I'm going to say yes. At some point in time, there will be.
Okay, I think so too.
Yes. 2009, Toyota officially becomes the planet's largest car maker.
Toyotas are extremely reliable, especially the Corolla and the Camry.
Oh yeah. And 1990, John McEnroe disqualified from the Australian Open.
Mac being Mac.
Oh yeah. And like I said, there's always a lot of war stuff going on, a lot of political stuff, but we always bypass all of that.
Yes.
So that sums up all of your facts of the day for January 21st.
All right.
Oh, and Ozark Season 4 came out, as if I haven't already said that like 2 or 3 times on today's episode.
Yes, I'm very excited. That'll probably be on the agenda right after because Amber's off today, so we'll probably head right to the couch after this episode.
I saw Pat Egan tweeting about it. He apparently had like a pirate link or something this week. So I saw him tweeting about it. He just said, "Trust me, Ozark season 4 is appointment television this weekend."
Oh, facts only.
So
I'm a big Ozark talk on Monday.
Yeah, I actually have quite a few things I got to catch up this weekend. I got to catch up on the second South Park COVID special.
Okay.
I got to catch up on like the first 4 episodes of the new Star Wars Boba Fett on Disney Plus, and I got to catch up on. Well, I got to get into season 4 of Ozark. So
yeah,
a lot of time in front of the TV. I mean, but hey, the Eagles. It's not like they're playing this weekend. So
yeah, you got time.
I got nothing but time.
So like I said, I promise I'm not going to do this every day.
Okay.
But this is because I don't want this to turn into, Ben Simmons. And we've been really good about not talking about Ben Simmons unless we have to talk about Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. After a certain, like we talked about a lot over the summer, obviously, and leading into the training camp because it's all big stories, but I don't want this turning into that with Jalen Hurts. But this, I gotta put this out here. This was on social media yesterday. Someone posted Jalen Hurts' scouting report going into the NFL. These are his weaknesses. Now I want you to tell me out of this list what he's improved on thus far.
Okay.
Has issues sustaining rhythm as a passer with so many off-schedule throws. Meaning, in layman's terms, he has trouble making reads. So he gets outside the pocket and most of his throws are not actually planned read throws. That's basically what they're telling you right there. Inconsistent patience allowing routes to develop. Slow recognition of early throw opportunities. Leaves slants and crossers behind targets. Misses checkdowns and opts for harder throws. Deep arm dip into elongated release. Forced speedsters at Oklahoma and Alabama to slow for deep throws. Noodle arm. Needs to get better at trusting his pocket. Quick to drop his eyes when pressure mounts. More likely to void pocket than climb, scan, and throw from it. Now,
that's damning.
You tell me, what have you seen from that list that he still has said, okay, well, he doesn't do that anymore?
Everything is still accurate. Everything you just said is still an issue.
It honestly sounded like Todd Bowles wrote that up going into his game plan for the week.
It did.
And that's something that was out 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and since you mentioned Todd Bowles, let's just dive back into that quote.
Mm-hmm.
So, audio came out. I heard it yesterday. I know you heard it this morning.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it exactly was released, but I had heard it yesterday of one of the defensive coaches. I don't think it's Todd Bowles in the video.
No, I don't think so either.
One of the defensive assistant coaches.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers are coming off the field, and the coach is going up to the players while they're all sitting down, and they're saying, "Keep it up, keep up the pressure. He can't read us. He can't read the defense."
Yeah,
that's incredibly, incredibly damning.
I don't know if I've heard that before. Like I'm sure during games, like you might see he's not recognizing what we're doing right now.
It's one thing if the players are trash talking him. Oh, he can't read us. He can't read us. Right. The coaches were giving his players the affirmative. Continue what we're doing.
Right.
He cannot read us.
Right.
And if I recall correctly, that is from the sack in the second quarter, I believe. I'm
not sure where the sack was. It was from a sack, but I'm not sure when in the game it was. But you saw that, and Aikman, who got extremely frustrated with the Eagles very, very quickly. He didn't want to be there after the first quarter because he was under the impression, like the rest of us, they were going to compete, and they didn't. So he was mad that he was there in the first place having to do this. And he just started just kind of unloading on Jalen Hurts respectfully, but he was very adamant about what he was seeing.
Did he lie?
No. Did we just say did he lie?
Yeah, did he lie?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, and so he was very adamant about what he was seeing, and everyone was kind of saying the same thing, and everyone was also saying he just looked overmatched. That was the problem. He looked overmatched. And listen, I'm not like you can hear. I'm sure you can tell by my energy. I'm not in the same place I was Monday or Wednesday talking about him, and I don't want to beat people over the head with this. I don't want to beat people over the head and be that guy that's just out here just boom, 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 boom. You know how we feel. He's probably going to be back next year. That doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's really that simple. And it's probably not a good thing if he's back next year. And I don't see him being the guy after next year.
If he's back next year because you don't have a better option for 2022, I can accept that.
Right.
What I can't accept is the people that are already ready to sign him to that 10-year, $500 million contract.
Right.
The people that are I never got a chance to ask him. I wanted to ask him off the air. If Allen was serious that he would rather have Hurts over Herbert. Hurts over Burrow.
That was a wild, wild, wild moment. The Herbert.
Yeah. When he said I'd rather have Hurts over Herbert, I almost just kicked him off the show right then and there. Because, I mean, we all know that how my opinion of Justin Herbert is. But I don't think that anyone in the NFL, including Howie Roseman, would take Hurts over Herbert.
Right.
I mean, to me, that's almost borderline blasphemous.
No, it's not borderline.
It is blasphemous.
It's just blasphemous.
It just classifies as blasphemous.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But again, I just want people to be reasonable at the end of the day when it comes to this conversation. Just be reasonable about your thoughts and how you feel about.
Let me just give an opinion on what Devan said on the post game show, the quote that she had. I do believe that he needs to be built around because he just doesn't have the weapons. You can go out and buy yourself a wide receiver 1 with Allen Robinson. That's the guy that I want.
Yeah.
You can go out there and sign a lower tier receiver, a Christian Kirk. The players like that are available.
Yeah.
You can go out and get those guys. That will help him. But what you need to do with these picks is not go get a quarterback. You need to build the rest of the roster up, not for Jalen Hurts. We're not building the rest of the roster up for him. Can he take the job next year? I don't believe so. I don't believe that you think that he can put his claims on the franchise job next year. But after next season, have a roster for a future franchise quarterback.
Yes.
Right now, if you put Aaron Rodgers on this team, are they a better team? Without a doubt.
1,000%. Yeah.
Does the defense still suck? Without a doubt.
Right.
So I had said before, the only quarterback I'm trading for is Watson because of the age and all of that. I've now been moved to the point that I do believe you need to build this roster up and not go get a quarterback this offseason, but it's not because I believe in Jalen. It's because I don't believe in anybody else at this moment that you could possibly get.
Right. I would do Wilson. or Watson. I mean, I would do Rodgers too. I just don't think he's going to come here. So that's why I'm not adding him into.
I would do Wilson. I would do Rodgers, but it's all about the right price.
Right.
If you want all 3 first-round picks, the only player I'm giving all 3 first-round picks to is Houston for Deshaun Watson. And there are caveats to that. If he needs to play X amount of games, he needs to do X amount of, there is an extremely large amount of escalators in that deal.
Right.
Much Carson has to play 7%, et cetera. Because I'm not putting out 3 first-round picks for someone who may not play all season long.
Right.
And a plot twist. Brian Flores tries to be the head coach of the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson will still play under center for them.
Yes.
So there's not even a guarantee that Deshaun Watson could be traded for anymore now.
And he said he doesn't want to come here. So
yeah, the whole reason why he wanted to go to Miami was Brian Flores.
Right.
So what if, obviously this isn't going to happen, they didn't fire him, but if they fired Nick Sirianni and hired Brian Flores to coach the Eagles,
right,
would that change Deshaun Watson's mind?
Yeah.
You know, if they signed Brian Flores to be the head coach of Houston, would he rescind his trade request? Potentially.
Right.
So the waters are even murkier now than they were last week.
Yes.
But what we do know is Hurts is here next year, for better or worse. And
right. If we talk, I wanted to get into the press conference with Howie and Nick, because I don't, people like you see they do believe in Jalen Hurts. No, these are the same people. Well, Howard Roseman
was heavy coach speak at that press conference,
right? And Howard Roseman said last year
my man called J Jaw an enforcer. Okay, this was some coach speak if I've ever heard it.
Right. He also said about Carson Wentz last year before the trade during this presser was that he looks at Carson Wentz like a finger on his hand. He can't see him not being part of the organization. How'd that work out? You can't be out under the impression they're not exploring other options. They're definitely looking at all the options. It doesn't mean they won't come back to Jalen Hurts, but you got to keep Jalen Hurts' morale up. If you come out here at the press conference and say, well, you've learned from what happened with the Ben Simmons situation. You don't know you have to come back to him. But see, the Sixers last year thought they were going to be able to move him during the summer. And they didn't think that Ben would push back and fight back the way he did. Now, Jalen Hurts he's not going to do that. However, you want to keep his morale up in case you have to come back to him. You want to give him motivation to work in the offseason and go through all the things and try to improve to come back next year if he has to be your starter. But I don't believe for a second that Nick Sirianni and Howard Roseman both believe that this is good enough for him to say, yeah, this is our guy for the next 15 years. It was an endorsement, obviously, saying, yeah, we like Jalen. And I believe they do like him. I believe he's a guy that if you're around him, you like him. I think they root for him. I think it's all the things that pretty much we've been saying. However, I do believe that they're going to be exploring all the options. And that's really, if you think about it, if you want to take any positives going into the offseason, the positives are the Eagles are in a much different position than they were last January. You got 3 picks. You got cap space. You can make some things happen this year that you couldn't make happen last year. So I expect going into training camp this year, the Eagles to be a much better ball club based on all the assets they've accumulated to get to this point. I expect them to have a much better roster. Is Jalen Hurts start on that roster? Probably. We don't know. We'll see. However, I expect the roster around him to be better also. But here's a trap. Here's the problem. Like I said Wednesday, they're going to be a better team. They'll probably be in a situation similar to this year. They'll probably win 9-10 wins. They'll probably win 9-10 games and get a wild card spot. Go on the road, probably lose. And now you've in a position where quarterbacks that could be available to you the following year in the draft, you probably won't be able to get your hands on them.
Can I interject with something real quick that I just popped up on the timeline that I'm about to have a meltdown.
Oh.
Quentin Michael, former Eagles safety.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Avant, former Eagles receiver.
Yeah.
The two of them now do a podcast of sorts, a show, a podcast, something like that.
Okay.
And I'm just seeing now some of the quotes from that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to be in a bad mood?
No, I'm very excited about the Sixers tonight, going to the game. I'm excited to have a good day with my wife. Now you're going to ruin all of that. I don't like this.
Jason Avant said they should trade 2 first-round picks for Kirk Cousins.
Okay, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. That's absurd.
How about Quentin Michaels saying they should trade 3 first rounds for Derek Carr? These are former NFL players that are saying this.
That's going to be a no for me, dog. Actually, it's funny. I actually had in my notes to ask the question, should the Eagles pursue Derek Carr in the offseason? But I would not pursue him for 3 first-round picks. Absolutely not. I don't think it would even take 3 first-round picks to get Derek Carr. Like, I think that's extreme overvalue. And 2 firsts for Kirk Cousins? Like, what?
This is why a lot of former players can't get GM jobs.
Yeah, that would be that. Like, can you imagine and the thing is too, like, you can't with Kirk Cousins. Maybe you can get away with that doing that in a city that hasn't. Like, we've watched Kirk Cousins for years. We know what Kirk Cousins is. We know what he is. That deal that he got, like, is one of the greatest deals in the history of sports. We all know he didn't deserve that deal. Kirk Cousins didn't deserve that. I mean, he played okay. He played fine for Minnesota, but at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is going to Kirk Cousins. And he had a nice season this year, but you can't trust him in big moments. He's untrustworthy. I want a trustworthy guy in big moments. And he's not one of those guys. So no. And Derek Carr, I like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr had a nice year, especially all the adversity that he faced. He had a nice year. But however, 3 first-round picks for Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm. Like, he said he really grew on me this year.
Maybe 1, but 3? No, absolutely not. I would listen. And I honestly, like, I would if the Eagles could get Derek Carr for like a 1 and a 3. I would entertain that. I'm in. I like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I think he's been out in the black hole, and people kind of have forgotten. Like, but Derek Carr has shown you, like, Derek Carr in 2016 was playing MVP football.
Pre-ACL, he was a borderline MVP candidate. Pre-ACL,
yeah, right. He's capable of it, and he like I said, he had a good. All things considered, he had a good year this year. Also, getting that team to playoffs was a big deal. All the adversity they faced. So, yeah, I like Derek Carr, and like, yeah, for a 1 and a 3, I'd think about it. But 3 first-round picks, that's absurd. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on both those opinions. That's silly.
Former players, man.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess
that quote is currently what's lighting the Eagles' timeline on fire right now.
What are people saying in response to this? I hope this is getting passed around and like
they're getting clowned.
Yeah, as it should.
Big time clowned.
Good. I mean, as it should, because that's silly. It's absolutely silly. So divisional weekend this weekend.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite, another great weekend of football.
Arguably the best matchups.
Yeah.
During the entire playoffs.
Yes.
Wild card, you can have some lopsided ones like we saw.
Yeah.
Conference championships, that's a conference championship. This weekend, though.
This weekend, we're getting after it.
This is the weekend made for football fans.
So the one I'm struggling with the most right now is Tennessee, Cincinnati.
You read my mind.
I'm struggling.
Read my mind.
With that. Because while I believe that Tennessee is one of the weakest 1 seeds we've ever had, I also feel like it's asking a lot for Joe Exotic to go in there and go on the road and win a divisional game, especially after the fact they already beat them in the regular season. But ask him to go there and do that,
I'll tell you why it's not that big of an ask. Because you're asking Joe Burrow. Remember who we're talking about, Joe Burrow, to go into Tennessee and outduel Ryan Tannehill.
Derrick Henry's back this week, though, I think.
He is back, but that's fine. Ryan Tannehill is under center on the other side.
Put some respect on Ryan Tannehill's name. Don't talk about him like that.
Ryan Tannehill is on the other side.
I mean, obviously Burrow, I believe, is better. We know that. But, like, Tannehill's made a nice career for himself. He's figured it out.
Let me say that again. Ryan Tannehill is on the other side.
I'm struggling. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it just depends if Cincinnati can take them out of the rhythm immediately, and put some crooked numbers up. Get up to look up a 14-0, 10-0. So maybe they take them out of their game plan a little bit. Well, actually 10-0 and take you out of your game plan. You can still run your offense 10-0, but like a 14-0, 17-0. Because the defense can be had, Tennessee. You can score on that defense. That's kind of been their Achilles heel over the past couple of years. You can score on them. So like, I guess it just comes down to that. But it's the nice thing about a guy like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and this is what's cool about especially having Joe Burrow, is that no moment is going to be too big for him. He's a national champion. Mm-hmm. Played in an NFL-style offense under Joe Brady.
Yep.
Literally, actually, it was funny. Drew Brees was talking about that 2019 season because he did the game last week with the Raiders. And he was talking about the 2019 season with Burrow, and he said that it was so cool watching LSU because they were running the New Orleans Saints offense. It's literally the same offense, the exact same offense. He said he watched him drop back and he was calling out the play or where he was going with the football and things like that because they were running approach like that legit New Orleans Saints offense that was so prolific over so many years. So the moment's never going to be too big for Joe Burrow. He's never going to get beat because it was too much. He's going to be fine in that regard. And he's just a guy. You look at him. He's just so cool under pressure. He doesn't sweat. He doesn't sweat it. So if I was a betting man, which I am, I think I do go Cincinnati, especially for the fact that I'm getting Cincinnati at +3. I think I take that bet. I take the risk on that bet.
How what the line is right now?
It was last time I checked. Let me see it. Let me see if it moved.
Yeah, I'll pull up. I got the lines. I got the lines right here.
Okay.
Cincinnati, Tennessee. We have
So 3.5. 3.5. So moved a little bit the other way.
I would take that all day right now. You get the hook.
Me too. I think I ride with the Tiger King.
I do too.
And it's not like it's gonna be a little cold out there in Tennessee, but you play in Cincinnati, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, man, are we getting Tiger King in the AFC Championship game already? The Tiger King.
We could.
OEB.
The next up, the second game tomorrow, 49ers go to Green Bay. This is the most lopsided line of the week.
6, right?
5.5.
It went down to 5.5. Okay.
5.5.
I
don't see 49ers beating Rodgers.
I think the Packers cover. I think like people are really high on the 49ers, as they should be. The 49ers are right now the hottest team in the playoffs. But asking them to go to Lambeau and duel with Rodgers, I think is asking a lot. I think the Packers win and the Packers cover. I think they cover the 5.5. This is probably, to me, 31-14. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's not going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a very close
31-14, 34-14, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I definitely I'm definitely going with the Packers. I mean, I want to, like you said, I want to be surprised if this is a double-digit win.
Yeah.
Next, you have the first Sunday game.
Mm-hmm.
Rams, Buccaneers.
Yeah, Tom Brady out here looking for revenge after they got embarrassed in L.A. Now they're in the pirate ship.
This game's not in L.A.?
No, pirate ship.
Interesting. I thought it was in LA. Gotcha.
The Rams, I believe, were the 4 seed.
Oh, gotcha. I thought I thought Tampa Bay was going to LA. No, nevertheless,
I just don't. At the end of the day, you're asking me to trust Matt Stafford over Tom Brady, and I just can't do that, especially after what I've seen this year. Like I believe are the Rams more talented roster? Absolutely. Should the Rams win this game? Absolutely. I can't sit here and say to you that I trust Matt Stafford over Tom Brady, because here's a problem with Matt Stafford. You can't make any mistakes in a game like this. You know what it is to go up against Goat and friends. You can't make mistakes. You can't give Brady short field. And I don't trust Matt Stafford not to make that mistake. Todd Bowles, he's gonna bring the pressure. He's gonna try to speed Stafford up. And I don't trust Matt Stafford not to make that big mistake to cost the Rams some points. And Brady's not going to do that. Their offensive line, it seems like they're okay. Everyone looks like everyone's going to be playing. So, I have you heard anything about Fournette? Is he back yet?
Have not.
So we'll see about that. But like, I trust Brady over Stafford. Now, this sets up next week, Brady going back to Lambeau. I think that's going to be a different story. I think Rodgers got something for him.
Oh, Rodgers definitely has something.
So I think you're setting up a rematch, Bucks Packers in Lambeau. I think you get a different result then, but I don't think I just can't trust Matt Stafford to go into the Pirate ship and not play mistake-free football. I don't trust it.
I'm actually taking the Rams just because that defense, they have players that can actually get pressure on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, Von Miller. They got people that can cover.
Jalen got 4 sacks on him last week. So, I mean, you look at the Rams line, you expect them to equal that or better it.
So, I mean, it's hard. I'm not betting the game either way, but I think that the Rams are going to win this game.
Okay.
And then you have the final game, which has come down to a line of 1.5, Marcus.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
For it goes the other way.
Kansas City. What do you got?
I love the Bills. Love the Bills. Love them. Love them. Look, here's the deal with Kansas City. Kansas City, the writing has been on the wall all year for them not to get back to the Super Bowl. Yes, they right the ship somewhat, and they definitely played better in the second half of the year, especially defensively, than the first half of the year. But the writing's been on the wall. And that offense still is not right. It isn't. It's not the same offense. It's not the same Patrick Mahomes either.
No.
And like I said, am I concerned about Patrick Mahomes? Absolutely not. They're everything goes in seasons. It's not Patrick Mahomes' season right now. And it's just like I said, we talk about hip hop all the time. Everyone has their season in hip hop. We had Yeezy season, we had Drake season, we had Future season, we had Weezy season, we had Hove season. Everyone gets their season. It's not Patrick Mahomes' season right now. It's just not. And I think he'll come back next year with a vengeance. And I would be willing to say they'll be obviously contender again next year. This ain't it this year. And I think Buffalo is another one that got something for them. They've been waiting for this. Buffalo already went in Arrowhead earlier and popped them upside the head. I think they're going to do it again on Sunday. I like their defense better. I like their offense better. And honestly, for this year, I like their quarterback better too.
We could have Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
Love it.
AFC.
I love the fresh. Dude, can you imagine next Sunday? Bills Mafia. Bills.
Wait.
Versus Burrow.
Would it be? It would be the Bengals at Buffalo, would it not?
Yep. That's awesome. I love that for the NFL. I love that for me.
I have the Buffalo to win in my pick'em pool for to make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah. So I'm rooting for him
because the Bills Mafia be going absolutely nuts. The atmosphere will be unbelievable. Having Burrow going in there. Oh my gosh! I'm rooting for that so hard that happens because you get tired of seeing the same matchups. Rams, you're going to probably get Bucks Packers next week, which is a good matchup. I'm okay with that. That'll be fun too. But give me something different also. Give me something I've never had before. I would love to see a throwback early '90s type vibe. Bills Bengals.
Now, I've never wanted to be a part of a different fan base than the Eagles.
Yeah.
But I have to tip my cap to the Bills Mafia every time I see them.
Gosh. Yeah. They're maniacs, and I love it. I'm here for it. Shout
out to the Bills Mafia.
Yeah. Jumping off a truck, off a bus, through a table, I'm in. I like it. I'm not going to attempt it, but I like it.
Should we talk to Gail and Evan about getting some tables to jump through at the John tailgates.
No, because I'm gonna end up doing it. That's
I'll be up on top of the truck. Marcus, come on up. It's great weather up here. You're like,
all right,
hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that would be great. I would love to see that. Like I said, looking forward to this weekend because it's going to be some really good football games. I think every matchup will be close except Packers 49ers. I don't think the 49ers. I think this is where their great season comes because that's another one, Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been really good lately about not turning the ball over. I feel like we get bad Jimmy this game.
Oh, some bad Jimmy.
Some bad Jimmy. Two-pick Jimmy.
Two-pick Jimmy.
Two-pick Jim.
What if I go 3?
You're a 3? Oh, my gosh. And it might be 45-14.
Jimmy 3-peat, I'm going to call him.
Jimmy 3-peat.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
No, I'm still laughing at Devan calling Amazon store, isn't that just Costco?
That was
That's the line of the century.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was an amazing burn.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong at all. I stand with her frustration.
Where do you feel about ranking Costco, Sam's, BJ's?
Well, BJ's the OG, so I like the OGs. So I ride with BJ's. Listen, those stores are if you have a big family, those stores they're clutch.
So
now I don't like them.
You don't even need a big family. I ran the numbers one time. So
always running the numbers.
I know. When I lived in Vegas, if I got gas once a week from Costco versus a regular gas station, I will have saved more money than the membership is worth on just gas alone.
It's pretty good.
Also, gas in Vegas is like $4.50 right now, so
that's gross.
Yeah, I remember one time pulling in the gas station and being like, "Is that first number a 5?" Like I can't. If I had a 5 on me, I can't even get a gallon of gas.
Right. Yeah. That's a lot.
Then you fly. Then you roll over to the next state right next to them. You can gas for like 180 in Utah.
That's nice. I like those numbers.
Yeah, but then think about it. You're in Utah.
Yeah.
You're right. Trust me. It's not a place where you want to be.
No, I don't want to be there.
Like you were like when we were going to do the ride out there, you were worried about like parts of Kansas, parts of Colorado. We didn't even get to the part of you having to be worried about Utah, the whole state.
Seriously. Got anything on this weekend?
Just Borgata. And then just when I think I have anything else to do, it's just back at the Borgata.
Love it. Well,
I'm attending a trivia night tonight.
Trivia night.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Really?
Yes.
We got like a bar or like at someone's house.
It's a fundraiser for something or other. It's a fundraiser thing.
Awesome.
But they were like, "Come on out for trivia."
Justin.
What's that?
Philanthropy Justin.
Yeah, I'm a man of the people.
Philanthropic.
Yeah, just
philanthropic Emery.
Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, listen, I do so many things that take away from society.
Might as well give back in some capacity.
I gotta give back every once in a while.
Are you into trivia at all?
I mean,
I feel like you're a trivia man. You're right now. You have like you look like you're not into it, but I guarantee you once you get there, you're me into it.
But here's what it is I like winning.
Yeah.
And like anything where it's like the competitive juices are flowing, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to.
That's how I am. I'll compete over anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's competition, I'm competing.
One time, so there's a Towson Town Center, obviously down in Towson. There was a bar there called the Brass Tap.
Okay.
Sport, your typical
sports bar. Yeah.
So when I first moved there, I didn't know what good places to go to and what wasn't. So I go in there, and they're having music trivia bingo the night I go in there. Okay. Let me figure this out. I end up winning the grand prize.
Look at you.
Grand prize was a case of Yingling beer. And a free, and like your tab for the night was covered.
Nice.
So I'm like, well, I win. So now I'm trivia guy. I win. I got to go back.
Yeah, you got to defend the title.
3 straight times, hard L's. Never went back again.
Yeah.
Never went back again.
Well, at least you had your week. You had 1 week.
You know who's a pretty good trivia person?
Who's that?
Alan.
I can see that. He's facts, man.
He's a trivia guy, and
that doesn't surprise me at all.
And the thing is, he doesn't partake, so he retains the information that he reads and whatnot. So,
yeah, I could see him being a trivia guy. That makes sense.
I'll
be at the game tonight.
Very nice.
Very nice seats. We're actually by the tunnel. We'll be able to go inside the tunnel where the players are. That's where you can get all the where the good seats are. You can get the food and drink stuff. It's free, included with your ticket.
Yeah, that's where the seats were for the game that for the Spurs game I was trying to get you to go to.
Oh, okay.
Very very similar seats to where you're sitting. I think I was more towards the center versus near the tunnle.
Okay.
But the same level though. Same level, yeah. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a good game. They got the Clippers, I believe.
Clips.
Actually just
gave us 50. I want 70 tonight.
Okay, I think that's definitely doable.
70 and 30.
Yeah, it's definitely doable.
Oh, Hans.
Oh, actually, before we get out of here, I gotta throw something by you because got something else that'll make you mad.
Oh God. Okay.
So, friend of the show, 2-time breakfast bars guest. I was with Hambino yesterday for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got into a discussion of Wilt.
Okay.
And he is firmly in the camp where Wilt is the greatest player of all time. Okay. Now,
why is he saying that? What is his criteria for him being the greatest of all time?
Basically, look at the numbers.
Look at the people. That's what I said.
That's exactly what I said.
He played against plumbers.
And it basically
wasn't a full-time job back then. They had other jobs.
So it basically turned into a debate of, well, would Wilt be able to do good today?
Yes.
And my thing is he would be a good player today.
Yeah.
He would probably be an all-star player today.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be Wilt.
No. He'd be Shaq. That's not a slight.
Well, I said to him, I said, listen, I was like, on Monday, Wilt has to go up against Embiid. Wednesday, he has to go to Utah and go up against Rudy Gobert.
Right.
Friday, he has to go up against Karl Anthony Towns. And then on a second half of a back-to-back, he has to go down to Miami and play against Bam Adebayo.
And then you're going to go see the Joker.
Yeah, this is much different.
Yeah. Right. And it's when we talk about Wilt, I don't want people to think we're being disrespectful. Because I think, again, people don't really understand what the word overrated means. But when I say overrated, I don't mean bad. Wilt would be a Hall of Famer if he played today. He would be a Hall of Famer. But he's not putting up 145 and 30. He's not doing that today. He's not averaging 50 a season in a season. It's not happening today. It's just not. He's putting up 25 and 12, 28 and 15. He's going to score 40 some nights, but he's not doing what he did then because he's not playing against guys who are 6'5".
So here's the part that's going to really get your blood boiling. I turned around and said, if Jordan played today, he wouldn't be Jordan. And that's not from a skill standpoint. He was a 2022 athlete playing in the 80s and 90s against, for the most part, 80s and 90s athletes. The overall baseline athlete is significantly better in the NBA now than when Jordan played.
I agree with the assessment, but you're not putting in the Jordan psycho factor. Michael Jordan was an absolute psychopath. There is no way he would allow anyone for any reason to out-train him and be better conditioned that he is to play in today's climate. He's a psycho.
But the thing is, he's playing. Everybody would be on, quote unquote, even playing field from an athletic standpoint. Jordan was, if he played today, he's as athletic as the NBA players are today back then.
But here's the deal about him too, is that I don't think he gets the credit for enough. Is Michael Jordan is arguably the most fundamentally sound basketball player to ever live.
I'll push back on that for one. There's one guy I'd push back on that on.
Okay, who's that?
Tim Duncan.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But you're okay. So if he's not one, he's 1A, and in his fundamentals, his footwork, his timing, how smart he was.
Well, that's why it has nothing to do with the skills, his level of skill.
But as far as
about the level of athlete he would face on a night in, night out basis, opposing him.
Right, that doesn't make me angry though, because that's true. But you think about it. This way: his second run of 95 to 98, he wasn't the most athletic player in the league anymore. There were guys more athletic than him, but he was so stinking smart, and his footwork was so pristine, and his work ethic. Those are the things that kept him the best player in the league. 97, 98, you look at that Jordan compared to 88 Jordan. He's not running circles around guys anymore. He's not doing that, but he's just so smart. His basketball IQ, his ability to get guys the pump fakes and the spins and all. Jordan could do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted, and that would apply today too. Just with, again, you're right. The athletics would catch up, but all of those other intangibles that he had propels him to the top still.
I feel like the curve would not be as dramatic though, because
from an athletic standpoint, no question.
Yeah,
no question. Because you got guys, you got Ja Morant in the league now. Like Ja Morant is, he looks and reminds me of like that 88 Jordan, like doing things where you're just like, did I just see that?
For me, the most athletic NBA player I've ever seen is Russell Westbrook.
Overall, yeah, he's
I'm not talking skill level. I'm just talking strictly
Westbrook, Iverson, Kyrie, and Ja Morant definitely is in that conversation too.
I think you also got to put Dame Lillard in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but those are the guys he'd be contending with. You're right. And like the NBA is a different NBA today. Now, one thing that he would benefit from is the fact that defense is negotiable now. Mm-hmm. And the quality of things you can't clothesline me out of the air anymore. Like you can't basically touch me anymore. Can you imagine Jordan in a world of you can't touch me and can't be physical? The things he'd be doing to people? Like that's the thing that you got people think about too, is that there's no more New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, Miami Heat style defense. That can't happen anymore. So that's another factor of today that's different. Like if he has the ability to run around like Steph Curry and just run around through picks and not get touched, like it'd be ridiculous.
The whole crux that I kept going back with him is the athlete is much better today.
I agree with you. No question. And but the thing is too, not just the athlete is better, the training methods are better. Mm-hmm. Like the things that Jordan was doing with Tim Grover back in the 90s, everybody's doing that now. Now, I still believe, he would be going – it's like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's still here because he goes above and beyond with his training regimen. That's why he's still here. Mm-hmm. We talked about this before. There are guys that could have played this long based on their ability. They just didn't want to train like this. Mm-hmm. Brady is a training freak. He loves to do it.
The biggest one on that list that pops out to me is Iverson.
Yeah.
If Iverson took care of himself, mm-hmm. Because he had a very fast falling off.
And it was his demise was quick and swift.
Whereas he would have had a much gradual, slow, graceful aging for the league had he taken care of himself when he was younger.
Right, because if with him, his entire game was his speed. Mm-hmm. And when he lost that step, he had nothing left to fall back on. It's like we talk about Jordan. Jordan lost a step in 95, 98. He wasn't even more like the 97, 98. He was a little slower, no question.
Kobe's last 2 years, he could barely run.
Right.
But he still had pinpoint execution with his fundamentals, and because of that, he was still better than most of the players in the league.
He's another one, top fundamentals list.
Yeah, like same with Vic.
Mm-hmm.
Once Vic lost that superhuman step, it wasn't the same. That's what's going to happen to Lamar.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think that's what's going to happen to Tyreek Hill when he loses that extra Chris Johnson, running back from the Titans, when he lost that otherworldly speed, he was a jag.
Right.
It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Now, in the same breath that we had just mentioned, where you have the athletes who are significantly better now from an athletic standpoint, but you still have guys from back then that trained. Jerry Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Legendary training regimens in the offseason, running through the hills.
He's another fundamentals guy, too. Like, his edge was his pristine route running.
Yes.
He was incredible footwork and able to run routes better than almost anybody on the planet. He wasn't the fastest guy in the league.
No.
Wasn't the quickest guy in the league. He just knew where to be and where to go.
He just knew knew how to get to his spot, and he knew how to beat you to that spot.
Right. Because even when he left the Niners with the Raiders, he had a good couple years there. Like, he didn't fall off the cliff. He didn't fall off the cliff to that weird Seattle year, whatever.
Yeah, and then the Broncos cut him during training camp.
Right. But like, he played well. He played well with the Raiders. He had a good career out there.
Was he in the Super Bowl in 2002 with them?
I believe so.
I think it was
that was the year where
Tim Brown and Jerry Rice. They had the fossilized receivers.
Right, and Gruden with the Bucks, and they never changed their calls or anything from when he left. So that's why they knew literally everything they were doing, which is wild they didn't do that. I don't understand. You don't have to change the plays, change the calls. Like, something else.
I heard John Madden one time.
Mm-hmm.
Late great John Madden.
Mm-hmm.
This was in response to that notion you said, where Tampa Bay knew the plays that were coming. John Madden said, "Doesn't matter. Execute." He's like, "It doesn't matter if they know what's coming. If you can execute the play and still beat them, doesn't matter."
To a point. Because at some point, like during a game plan, you're going to see something, recognize something the team's running. But when you know all of their plays and everything they're doing, there's no rhythm there.
Oh, I mean, I've heard stories that Derek Brooks, that's the linebacker's name, right?
Yeah.
Derek Brooks would call out the different protections at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
And he would change the defensive front literally on the fly because he knew what was coming.
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they definitely should have thought about maybe changing the names a little bit. No, don't change the plays. Just change the names a little bit. This is something.
Tiny bit.
Yeah,
Marcus.
Yeah, because you knew John Gruden was going to be over there chirping. It's ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, I got nothing else. At Marcus Between everywhere.
Yeah, I'm out of everything as well. So catch me at Justin Emery Show on the Bluebird app.
Brad Emery Pod everywhere. BradEmeryShow.com for the merch. 10% off the code Bremy at the Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne.
Use promo code Bremy10 for 10% off your first in-app order at District Taco.
Until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Wait.